But here's where it gets controversial. Power rankings. See rankings for FedExCup Top 30 at Tour Championship. PGA Tour Scottie Scheffler heads to the 2025 Tour Championship, ranked first in the FedExCup. Andy Lyons Getty Images. Written by Rob Bolton. The Tour Championship is the same as it ever was. If you're willing to turn back the clock to 2006, then it is. That's the last time it was contested as a straightforward, stroke play competition with no positional influence to determine the winner, and it will again this week. The modern twist is that the lowest score, at the conclusion of 72 holes, and then a playoff if needed, will be crowned the 19th FedExCup champion as well. A field of 30 has qualified for the playoffs finale at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta. How they got here for this potentially once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. How East Lake has also dipped back into its recent history, and much more is laid out beneath the full field ranking below. Talking heads no longer are required to explain how the leaderboard at the Tour Championship is calculated. After 6 years, 2019 to 2024, starting strokes has been eliminated. https://www.pgatour/how it works FedExCup Playoffs East Lake Atlanta straight up 72-hole stroke play. So may the lowest man win. Because he will. From 2007 through 2018, FedExCup points were on the table at the Tour Championship, but that component also remains in the past. As a result, advancing to the Tour Championship now is akin to a reset for a winner-take-all, Game 7. In addition to posing with the FedExCup trophy, the champion will be credited with an official PGA Tour victory. That's always been the case regardless of the format in the playoffs. But now the prize money is official, and that's a big deal. Whoever conquers all at East Lake will bank $10 million of the prize fund of $40 million, with all of it contributing to his official earnings. Waking up the following day to see an 8-figure deposit in the bank no doubt will be gratifying, but so too is the promise of PGA Tour status as a FedExCup champ through 2030. That's one of the perks of hoisting the hardware. For merely advancing to the Tour Championship, all 30 entrants are equipped with membership through 2027, where necessary, and exemptions into the 2026 editions of the Masters, the U.S. Open, and the Open Championship, as long as traditional criteria are honored. Job security and the bonuses allow the guys to give East Lake their best without the usual pressures, but successful execution fueled by competition is what got them here, so this isn't the time to let off the gas. Still, they're advised to review the roadmap, because there are a couple of significant changes from last year's debut of architect Andrew Green's reveal of the restoration. After one edition as a par 71, East Lake has returned to its familiar par of 70, with 4 par 3s and 2 par 5s. This is because the 14th hole once again is a par 4. As a 580-yard par 5 last year, it averaged 4.333, 15th easiest of 900 holes played all season. This year it tips at 530 yards, which is 10 yards longer than its max in 2023. Overall, the yardage of East Lake is 7,440. What's wild is how East Lake was easier in the aggregate despite its one-off par of 71. After a scoring average of 68.76 in 2023, it checked up a smidge lower at 68.62 a year ago. Was it a psychological advantage that it was more difficult to make bogey or worse at number 14, 3 by the entire field in 2024, compared to 31 in 2023? Perhaps. But golfers who summon previous experience on what is now again a stingy par 4 will be able to do so free of the influence of the staggered start. Not surprisingly, the most challenging aspect of the restoration of East Lake a year ago was the reception of the new TIFF Eagle Bermuda grass greens. Even though they were 11% larger, greens in regulation was down by only a percentage point, so the field still averaged approximately 12 per round. But proximity to the hole increased by nearly 6 feet. At 39 feet 7 inches, it's the longest distance of the 6 editions that used starting strokes, and by almost 4 feet over the next longest. With a full year for the putting surfaces to have matured, most, if not all, splits on approach will improve, but the primary rough is up 1/2 inch to 3.5 inches, so the premium of finding the shortest grass off the tee has increased. And that says nothing of the new trees that have been added besides 7 fairways, and the narrowed landing area off the tee at the par 4 17th hole. Greens once again are prepped to touch 13.5 feet using the Stimpmeter.